This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Topping our news, the price of popularity in Holmes Beach. For years, visitors came to Holmes Beach for its old Florida charm. But much has changed thanks to vacation rentals. Noise and added trash have been the norm for some still living in this small beach town. But an ordinance recently put in place has been helping. ABC7's Dwayne Lindo has more. Dwayne.
Well, guys, residents say this ordinance helps with some aspects of regulating vacation rentals, but still has a way to go.
Holmes Beach resident Jerry Morgan has lived around rental homes for 7 years.
All of a sudden, you know, it can turn into 20, 30 people having a big party. And sometimes that's okay. It's very respectful, but many times it's not.
He says quality of life may have been rough quite a few years ago, but it's progressively gotten better for some parts of the city.
We do have some rules and laws here that we wish that the tourists abide by.
The city of Holmes Beach already has an ordinance regulating vacation rentals, allowing 2 people per room. Holmes Beach Mayor Bob Johnson says the ordinance also includes inspections, stressing health and safety requirements.
A house being occupied by 8 or 10 people that they have never been in before. They wake up in the middle of the night because something happened. They have no idea how to get out of it. It's a disaster waiting to happen.
An ordinance that Morgan says has helped him since it was enacted.
Over the years, we've come to some understanding as to, you know, what to expect. You know, the respect for my property, respect for the local laws.
And although Morgan has documented and expressed concerns throughout the years, it's just a matter of communication between residents and rental owners.
I feel very comfortable that I can pick up the phone and I can call the manager. They got a 24-hour. If there's an issue, I can call them. They'll come out. And so that's really good. It makes life much more pleasant for my wife and I.
Now, although the city of Holmes Beach coordinates inspections, the same requirements the state has for hotels goes for vacation rentals as well. Back to you.
Thank you, Dwayne. A robbery attempt leads to the arrest of 2 men in Manatee County. Deputies say the victim was at a small park off of 1st Avenue East in Bradenton. This was around 7 o'clock last night. According to the police report, 2 men threatened the victim with a gun. The victim ran to a nearby house and called police. Dustin Root and Christian Comfort were found a few blocks away and they were arrested. Deputies did not find either suspect having a gun. Both are now in custody at the Manatee County Jail. A Punta Gorda man gets life in prison for a 2015 crime. The state attorney's office says James Russo was sentenced to life for a fatal shooting and arson at a convenience store. Authorities say Russo went to a 7-Eleven in Punta Gorda in November of 2015 and shot the clerk. Russo then poured gasoline on the clerk and set him on fire. The attack was captured on the store's surveillance video.
If all goes as planned, Sarasota will break ground in January on a parking garage for St. Armand's Circle. Sarasota's parking director gave the Business Improvement District an update this morning at City Hall. Commissioners are expected to vote on the $17 million 500-space garage in September. If approved and construction begins early next year, the garage will be open about a year later or near and about January of 2019. The head of the Business Improvement District says a parking garage is long overdue in St. Armand's.
The #1 complaint from Visitors to the Circle is lack of parking. Number 2 is lack of restrooms, which we're also trying to address as well. And the parking garage will create some restrooms in the garage, so we're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
The garage would be built on the parking lot behind the Columbia restaurant right off Adams Drive.
And now for a check on our forecast, we're going to head over to Steve, who is in for Bob this week.
Thanks, Haley. We've got some storms around the area, but not the intense coverage we had yesterday, unless you're around Wauchula and Arcadia to Duet right now. Also down around Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda, we've had a lot of lightning, and it's kind of wound up around Warm Mineral Springs in the last few minutes. So watch out for that lightning, and watch out for this storm in the interior as well, because it'll be maturing and shouldn't be a problem within another hour or 2. And our brand new GO 16 satellite takes pictures every 5 minutes. You can see these storms just erupting over the area, including the one up around Duet to Wauchula. It's a beautiful sight. We'll be getting more images like this in the next few weeks and the months to come. I think you're going to like it. Now here's our Futurecast, the high-resolution rapid refresh model that gets updated every hour, and you can see it's got handle on those storms, but it also shows them pretty much diminishing in the overnight hours. Maybe around dawn along the coast around Venice something might pop in. That remains to be seen, but generally only about a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms overnight, a dry evening, and temperatures cooling off into the low 70s. We'll have the complete forecast, Scott and Haley, including a look at Tropical Storm Dawn. The latest advisory just came in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Steve. ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. And Richard, it was a mixed Tuesday on Wall Street with a little bit of volatility thrown in just for good measure.
Well, you got to be careful what you wish for. Yesterday, I complained that nothing was going anywhere. So today we did just the reverse. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down by 40 points at the open, down by 158 points at the low of the day, but a significant rally after that. So things weren't so terrible at the closing bell. The NASDAQ higher for the 8th consecutive day. Yes, we're seeing things like Amazon and Netflix just going crazy, and so does the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at the final numbers. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 55 points, exactly 1/4% at 21,574.73 on volume of 644 million shares. The NASDAQ, as I say, look at the up arrow, up almost 1/2%, not quite 30 points at 6,344.31. That on volume of 1,507 million shares. The S&P there's barely budged, up 1.5 points, 0.06% at 2,460.61. You may recall, if you were watching yesterday, I said that Netflix announced its earnings after the market closed. In fact, that's exactly what happened. So investors had lots of time to think about how strong those earnings were, and boy, were they strong. Shares of Netflix, which have been up more than 25% this year, were up more than 13% today alone. How's that for a move? Netflix said they opened have new subscribers to the tune of 5.2 million in the last quarter. That versus the Wall Street consensus, which had been looking for 3.2 million. And they also said that they now have more subscribers outside of the U.S. than they have domestically. There's a company that's right now hitting on all cylinders.
Sure looks like it. And some news on Amazon, which is another pretty good one, too.
Speaking of hitting on all cylinders, it closed at an all-time high today. I know I keep saying that, but today it was up $14. It is now trading at $1,024 and change. That's worked out pretty well for investors also.
Sounds like it. Richard, thank you so much for the update.
You're welcome.
Well, we're feeling the summer heat, which can also cause our electric bills to skyrocket.
That's for sure, but you do not have to fall victim to these high bills. ABC7's Rick Adams is joining us live in the newsroom with an FPL energy expert. And the FPL team, Rick, has some tips for us to save money while still feeling cool while we're inside.
Yeah, that's right, Haley and Scott. Our newsroom is always very busy here. It's extra busy here today with all these experts from FPL. They are answering your questions. I'm now joined by Tiffany Spence. She is an FPL energy expert. And Tiffany, so wonderful to have you here.
Thank you so much for having us. We're excited to give the viewers information and tips on how to save on the electric bill. Thank you for having us.
And I know with my air conditioning bill during the summer, it's kind of skyrocketing now. So I know I could use these tips as well as all the viewers out there. What's the most important thing for folks out there to keep the cost down?
Yes, we have some wonderful tips. There are a lot of smart things we can do. There are smart thermostats, smart plugs. So here's a smart thermostat, and what this does is allows you to control your AC thermostat on the go via your cell phone by simply downloading an app. There are smart plugs. If you're outside, you're doing some barbecue because you don't want to get your inside of your house hot, so you're barbecuing outside more this time of year, and you notice there's a light left on inside the house. Well, if your lamp or something is plugged into that smart plug, again, with your phone, you can turn the light off and save energy.
It really is amazing with the technology that's out there. And what are some of the other ways that people can cut down their costs with the electric bill?
Thermostat settings are very important. So FPL recommends thermostat settings when you're home around 78 degrees. When you're away, maybe 82 or higher. We realize these may not be the most comfortable settings for our viewers, for our customers, but it's for energy saving purposes. After all, that AC makes up at this time of year typically for more than half of the electric bill you receive. And for every degree that you bump your thermostat up, you could save up to 5% on your cooling costs. So that's really important.
Yeah, talk about the costs that people can save monthly. There's a lot of money that people can save on each and every month if they're cautious.
That is correct. And with taking the online home energy survey at FPL.com, that's a real good way to personalize your savings, because let's just face it, everyone's usage is different in their home. And so by going online to FPL.com and taking the online home energy survey, you're looking to save up to $300, and that's a good savings right there online.
Okay, Tiffany, we'll be back with you very shortly with some more tips. And as you can see, the phones are ringing off the hook here. And the number is at the bottom of your screen, so do dial up with any questions you have for the FPL experts. We'll have more coming up. Scott and Haley, back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you so much. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, how schools can follow the state's recess law for students without making kids go outside.
And ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan is off this week, so Steve Newman will be in with your forecast. And this simple game from your childhood may be the answer to help you lose some extra weight.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
A Suncoast legend is having a birthday. I'm Joey Panic. On Suncoast View, we celebrate Snooty the manatee and learn about wildlife preservation efforts with South Florida Museum. We'll show you where you can have a date night with St. Armand's Circle shops and restaurants. Plus, it's Workout Wednesday, and Chef Judy brings us the best summer salads on the Suncoast.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
The Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio charmed us all and crippled the competition. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that. And with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Alfa Romeo got a lot right with the Giulia, but the handling alone is sufficient reason to get one. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Some disappointing news out of Fort Myers. A baby born after his mother was struck in the head by lightning while pregnant has died. Megan Davidson was 9 months pregnant when she was struck 2 weeks ago. She was rushed to a hospital where doctors delivered baby Owen 7 days before her due date. The medical examiner's office confirmed the child died on July 13th. It was the fourth lightning-related death in Florida this year. Authorities say Megan was released from the hospital and is recovering.
Florida has fast-tracked concealed weapons licenses to 82,000 active-duty military members and honorably discharged veterans. This comes after a terror-related shooting at a pair of military installations in Tennessee 2 years ago. Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam and Governor Rick Scott helped expedite the process. It's helped bolster Florida's nation-leading number of concealed firearm permits. The milestone in active duty military members and veterans getting expedited permits comes as the state has seen heavy demand for concealed carry licenses.
This is just one example of what we do through our department to make Florida the most veteran and military-friendly state in the nation.
Florida also upgraded security at National Guard recruitment centers, including the arming of Guard members.
Florida schools can follow the state's recess laws without having to take students outside. The Florida Department of Education says there is nothing in a new state law that dictates where recess must take place. State legislators passed a bill earlier this year that requires 20 minutes of free play recess each day, but exempts charter schools. Superintendents let the state know if they are complying with the new mandate before September 1st. This could be an issue because, of course, with all the rain we have in the summer, sometimes you might have to have indoor recess, go in the gym or something like that.
That makes sense. A lot cooler, too. Yeah. I had an inch of rain in my house. Checked my rain gauge a short time ago. This morning, those showers kind of popped up and dumped.
Right.
I got a half inch north of the airport. So we're talking about the beautiful skies we've had for the last month.
Yeah.
They remind me of the skies I grew up with here in the 60s. And take a look at this from our Sarasota Bay Cam. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely beautiful. But look what happened in the blink of an eye. That's the storm that brought you the rain, Scott. And it has passed on by. There's still some billowing clouds out there, but I think we're going to be on the decrease for thunderstorm coverage in the next few hours. Currently at the airport, it is 86 degrees, a dew point 74. Our humidity is 67% with a west wind. Now, across the state, there's been a lot of rain cooling because of these storms. Local flooding around Miami-Dade County earlier today. 86 the current temperature at Tampa. Longboat Key 79, and you can see the little yellow patches of the cooling that we've got from the rain. But factor in the humidity. This is the feel-like index. 94 in Sarasota right now, 95 at Venice, Northport 93, but because of the rain cooling, not quite so bad in the interior. That's kind of a switch. Across the state, garden variety showers and thunderstorms as you would expect in mid to late July. We're right on track for this kind of weather pattern. We had one particularly strong storm around Port Charlotte and moved over to warm Mineral Springs in the last hour. And that one over Duet area right now has also been fairly strong with a lot of lightning. Out of the Gulf, scattered thunderstorms will be decreasing, as will our chance of rain through the evening hours. Now look at the tropics again. Here's that easterly wave that has a 30% chance of developing. Keep an eye on it, but it's going to encounter the same problems that Tropical Storm Dawn has. You can see it. Here is Grenada, and it is, according to the National Hurricane Center, about 100 miles away from Dawn's alleged center. It doesn't even look like it has a central circulation anymore, so it's weak and disorganized and probably will not last much longer. And its forward speed is really giving most of the punch of the storm, not the circulation, but just the speed that it's moving at is bringing winds up to tropical storm force, even though it technically probably isn't a tropical storm. You can see the Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean remain quiet. Now, closer look at Dawn, 40-mile-an-hour winds, most of that due to its forward speed. There's the tropical storm warning in effect for Grenada and the Turks and Caicos, not the Turks and Caicos, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Winds 40 miles an hour as it passes by there, and then as we move in later on in the week, Wednesday at 2 o'clock, it'll be approaching Curacao, where they could have 35-mile-an-hour winds, but it should not be a tropical storm at that point, just a low pressure area. So bottom line, it's not going to affect our weather anywhere at all in the next week or so. Here are the storms offshore tonight, kind of dissipating in the evening hours, but then tomorrow another buildup of strong storms over the heart of the state. Some could pass over you. Got about a 50% chance of that happening. The same thing on Thursday. We really don't have a change in the weather until the weekend, which we'll look at in just a minute. But open the open waters. If you're away from the thunderstorms, east winds in the morning, westerly in the afternoon, 5 knots, seas 2 feet or less. Don't say smooth very often, but the winds are so light, unless you're near a thunderstorm, the bay waters will be smooth. That's nice. 89, the air temperature at the beach tomorrow, 87, the water temperature. UV index is up to 12, though. Tonight, chance of showers decreases, a low temperature of 76 degrees with mainly calm winds. Tomorrow, it'll be warm and humid again. It's going to feel like 98, 99, near 100, but the actual thermometer will be 88. And here is the 7-day outlook showing that not much changes in the chance of precipitation, 50, 50, 50, 50. A little drier air perhaps coming in over the weekend, but that means the daytime high temperatures will go up. But there's your complete look at the 7-day outlook. And coming up later on, we'll take a closer look at Tropical Storm Dawn and see if it shows any signs of holding its act together. Scott, Haley.
All right, Steve, thank you so much. And Suncoast Traffic Watch right now, mostly green on the map, just a little bit of trouble areas, just a few of them. We're seeing some red on the map at US 301 just south of State Road 70 in Manatee County. Otherwise, things looking relatively clear across the area. And I-75 all green at this hour, which is a nice thing to see. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, could a bacteria actually help patients with stomach problems? There is some medical evidence that shows probiotics help with respiratory tract infections and fighting bad resistant bacteria in your stomach and digestive system. You can find probiotic yogurt, but some companies are cashing in by marketing products with added probiotics like juices, waters, even brownie mix. You can get a great workout with an item that you may already have in your garage. Jumping rope offers a combination of benefits to your bones, your balance, and muscles that can help with many other exercises that others can't really match. You just can't get all of these benefits in one that you can with jumping rope. Full body synchronization associated with jumping rope is a major selling point, and it burns a lot of calories. Doctors in the UK say they found this massive cluster of contact lenses in a woman's eye. The 67-year-old woman was scheduled for routine cataract surgery in November. She thought it was dry eye and old age causing her discomfort, but doctors discovered the real cause. 27 contact lenses were stuck in her right eye. The woman had been wearing monthly disposable contact lenses for 35 years. Sometimes, she told the surgeons, though, when she would try to remove one from her eye, she couldn't find it. Oh boy. Coming up, a little containment of a growing wildfire in California, the blaze threatening homeowners and some animals. And two strangers linked by a man who died 2 years ago meet for the very first time, and they bond over a shared connection.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is rated the safest and most dependable automotive brand, and all Subaru models with eyesight are a 2017 IIHS top safety pick. Right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $209 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. And now, for a limited time, get a $20 credit on any new line of service. Call 1-800-468-1930. Go to consumercellular.com or visit a Target store today.
I'm Cindy Lou. I'm Susie. I'm Missy. And I'm Betty Jean. And we're the Marvelous Wonderettes. Mr. Sandman.
Experience the best girl group songs from the 50s and 60s live on stage at the Players Center July 12th through the 23rd. Call 941-365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You'll fall in love with the Marvelous Wonderettes.
I'm so alone.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world, is at your feet.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
The Detweiler fire burning in California has spread rapidly since it began on Sunday.
Fire crews and employees from across the state are joining in to help. The wildfire scorching upwards of 11,000 acres and forcing hundreds to evacuate their homes. Cattle ranches and businesses are also being threatened. Firefighters say they have never seen a wildfire shift direction so erratically, forcing firefighters to constantly shift positions. One structure has been destroyed. Countless acres of feed are now lost.
Police used a PIT maneuver to end a freeway chase in Southern California. PIT stands for Pursuit Intervention Technique. It's used to turn a fleeing car sideways. It started late Monday when someone reported a crash between a car and a big rig in Glendale. Police say the driver of the Volkswagen appeared distraught and bit someone who tried to take her keys. Police say she drove between 50 and 70 miles an hour and even tried to make a U-turn on the freeway. After police stopped her, she was taken away on a stretcher.
There's a push to preserve the threatened eastern indigo snake in Florida. A dozen young reptiles were released into the Apalachicola Bluffs and Ravines Preserve. Organizers say they will keep a close eye on these snakes over the next decade. They will also continue to focus on the establishment of healthy ecosystems through land, water, and wildlife conservation efforts.
The indigo snake basically maintains the balance of the population in this type of community. So incredibly important, and it was important that we restored the site and had the right conditions on site before we reintroduced them to give them the best chance of survival so they can repopulate the area.
Eastern indigo snakes are the longest native snakes found in the U.S.
Well, this one is a tearjerker. Two strangers connected through a liver. Julie Spear lost her 19-year-old son, Evan, 2 years ago. 2 days later, Keith Stampley, a retired minister from Illinois, was given the gift of life thanks to Evan. Since receiving Evan's liver through a transplant, Keith says he can feel Evan every day.
I never ate ketchup. So after I had the transplant, I started eating, hey, I can eat ketchup. Pizza, I never ate pizza. I like pizza now.
It has been a source of light and honor for me. And as a donor mom, it has been really saving me as well.
Julie and Keith met over the weekend. The two are asking others to save lives by becoming organ donors. Evan was able to save 3 other people through his donated organs. It's a very simple thing to do. You can just, when you get your driver's license renewed, get that on there, say you're going to donate, and it saves lives.
And that's the way, your legacy lives on, and your spirit is there forever.
Yeah.
So still to come on your Suncoast News, the Suncoast represented and honored in Washington.
What it means for products to be made in America and why the White House chose a local company to represent the state of Florida.
And make sure to call our FPL Energy experts. They are in our newsroom taking your calls right now and sharing tips on how to help you save money. The number to call, 552-3127.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.